Hello, glorious darlings. This evening, we are going to open into a most magnificent and profound space of absolute, deep, rich, sultry, divine clarity and certainty. So, this is the clarity and certainty amidst the ever transient, flowing, shifting, changing, transforming nature of this fully exquisite reality that we find ourselves in. This is the core of pure clarity and certainty that brings clarity and certainty to all other aspects of our life experience. So, what can we absolutely be certain of, right? Because this dance of life is ever expanding, ever flowering, ever novel in its exquisite unfoldment. And so, in the context of ceaseless and hyper accelerating change and transformation on our planet as consciousness expands and becomes self illumined, what is there that we can actually hold as a sacred and holy pillar within the core of our being amidst radical change and transformation? And this is the absolute everlasting truth, essence, and nature of reality itself, of our supreme being, of everlasting, immortal, divine love, the fundamental fabric and architecture of reality that allows this magnificent miracle that we see before us, that we are, the miracle of life that we are, the mega intelligence that allows it all to unfurl with such impeccable beauty is the divine design and superconscious intelligence of our being, of reality, of the divine mind, the logos. And it is pervasive, indomitable, everlasting, immortal, untouchable, unchangeable. So finding that which is unchangeable amidst change. So we can really, distill down to the core and the essence of the truth of the nature of being, the nature of reality, the nature of pure love that is all enveloping, all encompassing, not going anywhere. It's love for us, the love that we are in supreme truth. And the love of self for us is utterly unconditional, tender, loving, caring, kind, soothing, encouraging, uplifting, elevating, our own greatest ally, companion, and cheerleader in this dance of life. So, the exquisite holy inner play work for us is to attune ourselves and distill down to the pristineness of pure source energy, the majesty of our eternal heart. What is the perspective of our source self, our God self? What is the felt tonality and resonance when we commune with love, when we connect with love? And what we're really doing is we're just connecting with our own true nature. We're feeling into it. We're mastering the nature of pure love. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? What does it see when it looks at itself? What is its worldview? How does it view us? How does it view other, which is an extension of us? Everything is us. And so we're always in a relationship with ourself. And the way that we relate with the world and the beautiful holy beings in our lives is reflective solely of the depth of love that we have cultivated within our own being for our being in the totality of the self. And so it's all reflective of that relationship that we have with ourselves in here. So it's very evident when a being is deeply, profoundly loving, they have mastered their own true nature. They are, are mastering aspects of their own true nature. And so this is really about focalizing and holding steady, integral, strong, majestic, powerful in our valor, in our virtue, in our divine nobility internally to that which is absolutely invincible. And recognizing this as our own divine identity. And so this is where I teach divine identity mastery, because I've navigated so much profound shift and change in this lifetime. And you know, when you're going through a powerful shift, right, it can feel like you're falling off the edge of the universe. There's feelings and sensations of just tremble inside. And when we're going through these calibrations beyond identity constructs, personality constructs, unconsciousness, spaces of Maya and illusion, and we've identified ourselves we've identified ourselves with some aspect of of like a role, a like characteristics, qualities, attributes that we embody that may or may not be the ultimate truth of our nature. We've constructed ourselves to be something in our mind. And when we go through these powerful transformations, all of the constructs of who we think we are dissolve to give way to the actuality of the immortal, eternal light that we actually are, that we are in truth. And so in those moments when it's like we're in the transitory space, we're like looking for something to grasp onto, right? Like what's going on? It's that sweet space of unknown that ultimately becomes known to us. The more we navigate transformation, then ultimately when we land in the embodiment of super abundant oneness, then those moments don't occur for us anymore because we know who we are. And knowing who we are is the key to liberation. Knowing who we are as the source. When we know who we are and we focalize the truth of who we are, we become intimate with it. We distill down to the essence of our true being and nature internally, then everything else in our lives takes care of itself. Eckhart Tolle, beautiful quote of his, when you get the inside right, everything else falls into place. And the inside right is synergy with our true nature, sovereign union internally that allows sovereign synergy with the rest of life and the world. We know who we are, and then we know who others are by virtue of that. And then we enter into the space. So we have supreme clarity. And I'm going to keep it short, simple, and potent with this because there's all these beautiful, we are infinitely multifaceted, gorgeous expressions of supreme prosperity and love unfolding itself. But really, the core truth of who we are is one luminous field of harmony, one luminous, pure awareness that recognizes the one true self as all that is. And this is the elegant simplicity of pure, 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 pristine, divine love, the heavenly essence of who we are at our core. And so the more we study the nature of love, we feel into it, we resonate into it, the more that we focalize the nature of who we are in truth, the more we become it. We focus on it, we begin to resonate it, we begin to emanate it, and then our lives reflect it to us. And then ultimately, in all of this too, the mirror completely dissolves. The mirror dissolves into oneness. And in that dissolution, everything is the pure beingness of itself. We experience the masterpiece of our ultimate nature and pure being, existing, operating, thriving, dancing everywhere. So what can we be certain of? We can be certain of our wholeness. In one love, we can be certain that love is all that is, this supreme clarity that there is only one being, one truth, one ultimate source here, and that this is who we are in truth. And the more deeply we know this in the felt experiential reality of our body, our being, the nectar of life that flows through us in our holy bones, the more that becomes our lived experience. Because again, everyone is us pushed out. Reality is an extension of us. We're only ever experiencing ourselves. So we go right home to the truth of us so that we may live our excellency. And we all are so innately and inherently worthy and deserving to experience the full-bodied, full-fledged manifestation of our own divinity reflecting everywhere. And this is our truest desire. We think we want all of these things and these experiences, but what we actually deeply at a core level desire is to live the experience of our divinity, reflecting and refracting everywhere, to be saturated in love. You know, when we're going through powerful transformations, nobody that I am aware of is asking for things and experiences. We're deeply calling for love in those moments, and to feel the richness and the warmth and the embrace of the auric majesty of heaven itself, the all enveloping archangelic wings of our supreme being. We are calling forth our true nature. We are calling forth love. And then, you know, as we become the embodiment of this energy, you know, that we begin to unfold this exquisite date with destiny. And so somebody asked me on one of my videos recently, you know, I'm really great at doing this alone, aren't we all, right? Like nature is a benevolent ally. It doesn't talk back. It's really easy, right? To do it when we're alone, when we're in nature, when we're in, you know, a natural communion with life. It's with other beings that are showing us the totality of ourselves where it can become challenging. It's like, oh, you're showing me my unconscious. Oh, you're showing me my superconscious. You know, all of these things, but it all has to ultimately refine into pure, luminous, enlightened, superconscious being dancing in the marvelous ballroom of pure love. That mastery is inevitable for all of us, whether it's now or in this lifetime or another lifetime. It is a choiceless choice. We all have to arrive home at the perfection of our divinity and our true excellency and mastery. And so, you know, and then we then begin to engage this dance with life. So the question was, how do I live this with other people? And one of the most powerful, gorgeous ways that I have learned to do this is I lead with listening. And when I'm engaging with other beautiful beings, I am leaned back into the seat of my soul and I'm listening. I'm in a deep, this is definitely a receptive movement, the way that I dance with this energy. I'm leaned back, I'm open, I'm expansive, and I am expecting love to flow into me. Now, this is a sacred expectation. It's not an expectation of the person. It's a knowingness. I'm operating from the knowingness that love is the only one here. And so I know that I'm opening to drink in the holy nectar of love from whomever I'm communing with. And because I'm holding this perspective, it fundamentally changes and shifts how people show up to me in my reality. This is one of the most powerful, simple things that you can do. So then the key is to be in a deeply listening, embodied, receptive space. Because when we drink one another in, it's visceral. It's into our heart. It's into our solar plexus. It's into our sacral, our yoni, and into our root and into the earth. It's a deep well of feeling this land in our body when we are breathing other beings in. And if we aren't fully aware of the reality of one love, what we can sometimes do is be in a state where we have guards and borders and boundaries and all of this operating in our embodiment. So we're entering into our relations from a mildly to overt reactive space. We're like waiting for the thing to react to, right? Because we haven't entrained ourselves to the knowing that love is the only one here, deepening into the absolute trust, faith, and then ultimately knowingness that transcends all of those. I am meeting with love in this moment because love is the only one here. I have located the needle in the haystack, which is love's face, love's essence, love's presence, love's masterworks expressing everywhere. And I am now open, available, and receptive to receive the truth of my own divinity, my own beingness. And again, because I'm operating from this space, guess what comes to me? Guess what flows into me? The voice of love, the majesty of love, the beauty, the celebration, the encouragement, the appreciation of love. And now all those fears and guards and defenses can drop. And so this is one way that we can begin to walk with this and live it with other beings. And of course, the more that we create that deep well internally for love to pour its fountain into us, our natural response to that love is always going to be more love. And so I highly advise leading with the deep listening and the deep receptivity, and then to flow forth from that space. And so these are all, and so then you become certain of love because you're generating new experiences that overwrite, historical experiences that you may have had with other beings in your life who have shown you your own unconscious contractions, where there's fear, where there's walls, where there's not full trust and faith in love's presence. And the more that you drink in that nectar and receive people this way, you entrain to something new. And so then the certainty is like, it's everyone loves me. Life loves me. Love loves me. Love is operating through and as all things, all people, all beings. It's safe to love. I can come home deeply in my being and my essence and relax and let the love in fully. And then, of course, my natural response to that is going to be being the emanation and the full overflowing luminous chalice of being that love to all beings in my life. So when we have the certainty of who we are, when we have the clarity of who we are, and it's not based in roles and identities, in things that are impermanent in this life, but in the ultimate truth of who we are, the abiding eternal reality in light of who we are, that transcends and continues on through all of our incarnations. It just is, it permeates all of existence, our soul spark, our God spark, who we are and who we will be beyond form and identification. When we know ourselves in this way and we have certainty and clarity of this, it illuminates certainty and clarity in the total glorious effervescent tapestry of our existence. We are free. Drink that in. We are free through that depth of clarity and certainty. And then everything else becomes clarified and certain because all things are known in the presence of pure love, in the harmonic of one loving, pure awareness. So I invite you to play with this, really practice this and see how it shifts your reality in the most awe-stunning ways, my loves. Supreme clarity and certainty in who you are and ultimate truth. And then weaving that into your moment-to-moment experience. It's how you dance with life, a date with destiny, a date with your own supreme being, a romance with love, a romance with self, and watch how this resolves all the other aspects of your beautiful, holy existence. I love you so much, darlings, and we shall convene again soon.